Thank you for joining me today as I discuss Rick Riordan's Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard. Now, I just realized it is rare that I listen to audiobooks because I just love the fact of actually reading a book and turning its pages. However, I have a library of books that I keep on hand for those days that I'm not feeling well and I don't want to do a lot. And I'll sit and I'll hand sew on my projects and I will just rest. And for some reason, on this past Monday morning, I just didn't feel well. I checked my work calendar and I realized I needed to take a day off for myself. This happens occasionally. I decided that I was going to listen to the latest book in the God of Asgardies series by Rick Riordan. I just first found Rick Riordan's books through one of my college students during the summer of 2005. He was an author who had taken on the ancient Greek myths and had modernized them and made them just downright fabulous for the young adult reader. I started reading Greek series to my children every night as we followed the exploits of Percy Jackson and his friends, and then came the Roman series, and then the Egyptian series, and finally the Asgardian series. Magnus Chase and his adventures have always intrigued me, and it had been sent that way since 2018, and it'd been a while since I had read any of Rick Riordan's wonderful work. It was an audiobook that was 12 plus hours long and started at 5 a.m., and I went straight through until 8 p.m. that night. All I did was lay in bed, listen to the book, and enjoy the fact that my body needed a full day of rest. It had been February of 2020 since the last time I had done anything like that for myself, and so it allowed me to have a much needed break. Now, I think this review is more about lifestyle than the actual book. The young adult fiction series is absolutely wonderful, and I use such books as mind candy. Now, what do I mean by mind candy? I like to be pulled out of my own life and enjoy the perspective of life from a main character wrapped up in myth and legend that finds that it isn't a myth of the past. The character is actually living in the now and has to find a way to integrate all that his current life is exploring. It always makes me laugh. Why? Because I've had times in my own life when I was knee deep into the lore and legend of Native Americans, and I found myself living in an adventure that required that I integrate it into my own modern worldview as well. I have a lot in common with Rick Riordan's characters. I recommend his books for their wonderful characters, excellent plot points, and if you've been educated in the ancient Greek and Roman tradition of mythology, you'll absolutely love this modern story retelling.